How you doing, man?
I'm
How you
doing
doing?
good.
Yes,
It's
sir.
good to see you, man. So we just had Buffalo Soldiers Tacoma, Buffalo Soldiers Washington here earlier this week. So it's just great. First of all, can we get into the outfit, brother? You look amazing.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is our officer look that we go with for formal events like these.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you got involved? We heard a little bit about the history yesterday of Buffalo Soldiers, but how did you get involved with Buffalo
Well,
Soldiers?
actually, I'm a third generation cowboy myself. My grandfather, he owned a riding stable up in Bellingham back in the early 80s and late 90s. And since I became one of the traditional members of the organization, my father was one of the primary founders. And he started off with just a riding club out of Seattle. It transitioned into a formal organization after they went down to the Oregon Trail. And from there, the Buffalo Soldiers were formed. And then I became one of the first cadets of the organization.
And what is that like to be a part of that legacy? We see so much happen with gentrification, and so many of our stories get erased. But the Buffalo Soldiers has always been still standing.
Well, it's powerful. It's real powerful. One of the big things I like to share with the youth and everybody is figure out where you're coming from. If you find out where you came from, it'll help propel you to where you can go and who you can be in life. Not until I became a Buffalo Soldier and realized my lineage did I begin to start walking with my chest out, my head held a lot higher. And being able to do so, it's just a big statement and a loud presence I'm able to share with the youth and around with my peers just alone.
You know, one of the things that I really have always liked about the Buffalo Soldiers and what they do, when yes, Juneteenth was named a formal holiday in 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
2020. But y'all have been doing Juneteenth celebrations prior to.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just amazing on how your community has been able to keep up with history. I actually just seen you at a recent event.
Yeah.
Was that in Renton?
Yep. Okay. Renton, we see each other all over the community.
And how is it teaching like the youth that are coming into the
Man,
space?
it's tough in a positive light. You know, being able to show kids just to see a young brother that's barbered or cut their hair or help teach them how to, deal with boxing or any level of natural facet in the community. And then seeing me on a horse or like just this weekend in a torchlight, it helps them realize that they can do so many things and be versatile and not be just one dimensional.
Speaking of versatile, one-dimensional, so you do the work with Buffalo Soldiers, and then there's just so much that I don't know anything that you don't do. So can you tell me a little bit about some of your work with FAM?
Yep. So I do work with Family Fathers Accountability Movement out of the Rainier Beach community. Actually, we're actually facilitating an entrepreneurship program where we're teaching the youth barbering, braiding, screen printing, and culinary skills out of Rainier Beach Community Center, and that's a big deal.
As someone who grew up in that area, how important is it to make sure that we're going?
Oh, man, it's extremely impactful. It's extremely impactful and important because as a youth, I was always taught, get good grades, go to college, and I wanted to become a lawyer. That's what I wanted to do. I just thought that was the best thing ever to become. But once I realized there was things called vocational schools and I could pick up a trade and I could actually pick this trade up and then propel myself to be a substantial individual on my own scale and not waiting on corporate America to say it's okay or to work so many hours or anything of that nature, it kind of shifted my understanding of life in itself,
And that shift you do, right?
Yeah.
And you do a lot of shifting because it's not just that, and then it's boxing, right?
Yep.
See, I used to. Well, back in the day, y'all, I've changed. But which boxing?
So it's Champ Boxing with Kevin Loyal out of Rainier Beach, actually. Okay. So we got a group of probably about 35 to 40 kids, mine or some included, and we just do a whole form of educating about the discipline in boxing, the scheduling, the tools used, and then how to protect yourself and to use behavioral health to discipline one another on not crossing the line with getting mad. When you're boxing, it's strategy and patience. It's not anger and strength. So a lot of those things we have to teach the kids and show them how to stay focused, how to listen, how to throw a punch properly, to not hurt themselves, how to absorb a punch properly. Just natural basic skills on pretty much what we've had to learn, which was, anger management and self-discipline.
Yeah, and I love that. Actually, with all of the work that you are doing, it always ties into showing up for the youth and catching them in the areas of like mental health. So what is next for all three of those organizations? Anything we got to look out for?
What we got next for the Buffalo Soldiers, actually. The Buffalo Soldiers we got coming up this weekend, we have the Umoja Festival, which is huge in the community. We'll be giving pony rides up at Judkins Park after the parade. Then following that parade and event, we have the Lake City Parade that's going on that same evening. And then I'm not sure what it is the following weekend. I know the first weekend of September we'll be out in Ellensburg at the Ellensburg Rodeo, which is an annual event we normally do. And then we have, I know a little further after that, we have the Oakland Black Cowboys Association event we do down in Oakland. So we'll be posseing up and driving down RVs and horses in tote to go out for that event.
Can adults get on the ponies?
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
They're full-size horses.
Okay.
There's no limit to the, well, there's a limit, but there's not that high of a limit to the weight, for sure.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that, I mean, I'm not speaking for me, but maybe speaking for me. But in the meantime, all of these things that you're doing, if you can do me a favor and just look in the camera and let people know where we can find you, how can community support all the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. If you check us out at www.buffalosoldiersofseattle.com, you can catch us directly. That is our website. You can email us at Seattle10th, that's Seattle 1010TH CAV, so Seattle 10th Cav at gmail.com. You can shoot us an email, or if you want to call me directly and talk to me, you can call me at 206-271-7780, and I'm more than willing to enlighten you on all the programs I'm involved in. Or if you need a good haircut, I'm cutting hair down in Tukwila out of Debonair Barbershop. Come check us out, and I'll hook you up with the best haircut of your life for sure.
Yeah, he does give great haircuts. I have mine personally, but on a personal note, brother, we don't see very many of us. So many of us have been out.
Yeah.
But it's just so great to see you in the space and flourish in your purpose, and you're just not doing it in one way, you're doing it in all the ways. So I'm proud of you and so happy to have you as a guest today.
I appreciate it, definitely.
See, that's what we talk about.